Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the HNE pod. I think it's episode 6, I'm pretty sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, today we're talking about a few things as I look at my notes. Batman casting news, the CW crisis stuff, like updates for that. Also, Kevin Feige, his promotion, which is pretty cool and what that entails. And also some Monsterverse updates for you guys today that came out. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to see it in different segments. So some segments may be up when you're watching this, some may still be uploading depending on when you're watching it. So just, if it's not up yet, please come back and check it out. But those are the segments, one of those four you're probably watching right now. But yes, so getting into it, dude, Batman casting is heating up like crazy. This week we have Catwoman, we have the Riddler, we have potentially the Penguin being cast as well this week. I mean,
It's awesome.
it's heating up. I mean, so,
It's heating up.
Paul, yeah,
Let that
so
Let's make energy in that fire.
yeah, so the Riddler originally, from what we know, it was going to go to Jonah Hill. But Jonah
Mm.
Hill in that negotiation broke apart with WB. So instead of him being the Riddler, Paul Dano is going to be the Riddler instead, who's still a really good actor. And then Zoe Kravitz, who originally was called too urban for a role in The Dark Knight Rises, is now going to be playing Catwoman, which is really kind of poetic in a way. And then, yeah, it looks like Seth Rogen's going to be the Penguin. Not official yet, but reports and stuff like that are saying he's closing in on, I guess, the negotiation process, which I can't even imagine a Seth Rogen, I guess, Penguin. It's like Timon as Penguin, like from Lion King, like because he has such a distinct voice, you know what I mean? And it's like I said it in the news video we put out about it, but Jesse Eisenberg, the biggest kind of like fatal casting aspect of Jesse Eisenberg to me was his voice.
Yeah, he
Like
does
I
not have a
just couldn't
very
buy it.
threatening
It's
voice.
yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be threatening, but it just like see, I don't want to say anything mean about Jesse Eisenberg because he's never done anything bad to me, but it just takes me out of it. Like when I'm trying to immerse myself, like his voice just takes me out of it. And I feel like Seth Rogen's in a similar way, unless it's like a comedy or I don't know, it depends because he was in that Steve Jobs movie and he never took me out of like the drama, the tension moments. But at the same time, he wasn't having to really be super expressive.
Yeah,
So
I
he
didn't
could
get
kind of
to
like make himself more monotone.
right. I didn't get the chance to see the Jobs movie, but you're right. He does have a very unique or unique sort of presence. He is Seth Rogen, and like almost everything you see him
Yeah.
in, he seems like he's just one of those identifiable characters. Like even you just hear his voices as Pumbaa, you're like, oh, that's Seth Rogen. So it should be interesting seeing him as the Penguin if that is what indeed ends up happening. Because I can't imagine him with like a monocle and a top hat and being like, oh, Batman. Like, it's gonna be
Yeah, that's what I'm
weird.
saying. Like yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I can see him in the Iceberg Lounge and Robert Pattinson Batman goes up to him or Zoe Kravitz Catwoman goes up to him and he goes hey, 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 hey. And like, I don't know why I made him sound like Fat
Made
Albert
himself
or
like,
something, but
yeah.
but
Hey, hey, hey.
but but yeah, I guess with these castings though, like, are you excited? Does this make you more excited for the Batman? Because for me, it makes me kind of like neutral. Like nothing is backbreaking. Like I feel like these are all very, I guess, besides Zoe Kravitz, very safe casting. And the reason I don't say Zoe Kravitz is a safe casting is because we don't really know what direction her Catwoman will take. Because Catwoman's a character that could be like a really major, aspect of the film, or like a minor supporting role. So it's like if it's a major kind of character, then like Zoe Kravitz, like as a casting like decision is pretty solid. But if it's like a more minor character, I think it's almost a waste of Zoe Kravitz
No, I
to
think
have her.
I think it's a really inspired choice. And fun fact, she's not. This is actually her first time playing Catwoman. She played Catwoman in the Lego Batman movie as well.
Are you serious? Really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was her. I mean, I think it's cool. Like, I think it's a good casting, and I think Zoe Kravitz is like, from what I've seen her in, I've never once thought she's not a good actress. You know what I mean? Like, there's some people you see and stuff, and you're like, they they are not expressive. Like, what are they doing? Like, they're
Right.
not crying on cue or something like that. But I definitely think Zoe Kravitz will be fine as Catwoman. I mean, I don't.
No,
Like I
I
said
think
though, like I'm curious how they're gonna do it though. Like
right.
what are they gonna do a backstory for Catwoman? Will this be like a pseudo origin story for the character? Will she be Selena Kyle and then by the end Catwoman, or will she already be Catwoman? You know what I'm saying? Like this is what I'm
Well,
curious about.
I heard they're starting Batman off like within his early years, and so I imagine they're gonna. They know that most people have seen these villains before or seen these antagonists before, so I imagine they're just gonna jump straight in. Zoe Kravitz is great casting. She has the look, she has the fierceness as a performer, and I feel like her and Robert Pattinson could have really good chemistry. Paul Dano is also a really good casting because that dude can be really funny, but he can also be really creepy, and he has like just
Yeah.
that sort of intellectual edge to him. So I never thought of him as sort of Edward Nigma, but I think I'm like now that I see it, I'm like, hey, that's yeah, that can work. Also, I will say also inspired casting is Gordon, the dude who play who's cast
Yeah.
as Gordon. What's his name? Uh,
Jeffrey Wright? Right?
Jeffrey Wright, yeah, Jeffrey Wright, you know.
Yeah, right. No, I think it's a good casting choice. Like, I mean, he's a phenomenal actor. Also, he's a DC sports fan, so I mean, because I'm a DC sports fan, I'm all for it. Nats going to the World Series, amazing. But
Just
actually,
bias.
talking about talking about Batman, Robert Pattinson actually did an interview with the New York Times, and this is how he describes the role of Batman. He says, Batman is not a hero. He's a complicated character. I don't think I could ever play a real hero. There's always got to be something a little bit wrong. I think it's because one of my eyes is smaller than the other, or because you sparkle in the light. I love the director Matt Reeves, and it's a dope character. His morality, referring to Batman, is a little bit off. He's not a golden boy, unlike almost every other comic book character. There's a simplicity to his worldview, but where it sits is strange, which allows you to have more scope with the character. Maybe I'm just used to abuse by now. At least I didn't get death threats this time. That's a plus. It's funny that people are so very angry about Twilight. I never particularly understood it. So I don't know what he's talking about where he's like the character. What does he say? The character is not the golden boy, unlike almost every other comic book character. Really, no comic book character these days is the golden boy. Even Shazam, who when he was Captain Marvel was like perfect. He's a child basically, but
Right.
like Superman, who was like the golden boy, like
I think he's
had very.
overgeneralizing.
That's what I'm saying too. Like I'm at first I thought he was talking about like in the movies. I'm like definitely not recently in the movies have
No.
Superman or Batman been golden boys by any means. Like the Snyder Superman franchise, regardless of your feelings on it, I mean you can agree Superman was not a golden boy.
Superman's out here snapping necks like they're bottle caps, dude. He's
I mean
like
the closest Superman is a golden boy we've received recently is maybe like Supergirl version of Superman or like Smallville. He was kind of like more or less the
goody
golden
two
boy unless he
shoes.
was. Yeah, I mean like whenever he really did anything edgy, usually it was like he was possessed or something, you know what I mean? So it was like the darkest thing he usually did was wear like that dark trench coat that one season. Like
Right.
that was it when he became the Blur instead of the red blue Blur. Remember that? Like
And I think his comments are interesting as far as what he says about relating to Batman himself, and I think that yes, there is a simplicity within Batman's sort of worldview, and Batman himself is not a character that's sort of granted he has his view of like the no killing thing, but he's also
yeah.
kind of a dick. Like he
I
kind of like
mean,
screwed
yeah, he's
over Dick Grayson and kind of like slept with Barbara Gordon, knowing that Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon had like a thing going on.
that's only in like one continuity.
I mean, it's still just an example of like something he has done.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you were gonna say the fact that he's regularly like severely injuring people um,
Yeah,
with
he's
his
like
like he obviously has some issues here. Like he
it's
could just hit a punching bag and donate $1 billion to like some charity or something. I mean,
he has
Batman's
some
always been a bit
aggression.
over the top. I mean, it's a comic book character though, so I guess that's just kind of how it is.
I feel like they've shown the brute strength of Batman, but they haven't really shown the brutality of Batman. Like he won't kill you, but he'll beat you to within an inch of your life. Like
Well,
they're
I think that's what Snyder was going for, kind of, wasn't he? I mean, well, Snyder's Batman technically was willing to kill people at
but
that
they
time and
never
point. But
they showed him like throw things. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, he did beat people, but I wanted like they didn't show him like repeatedly like beating a dude until
yeah, they
like he was
did
almost
in the
dead.
warehouse, in the warehouse scene, which I only know that because I was rewatching that clip earlier today when I was
Uh,
editing a video. But there's a scene where he is beating on someone until like a dude basically like shoots him in the back of the head or something, and then he like directs
you're
his
right.
attention. Like he was a savage in the
That is a
warehouse
savage
scene.
in that
Like
one. I wish I
like
got to
Ben
see more of that Batman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Ben Affleck's Batman, say what you want, but the dude was like a tank. Like he was probably the most accurate live action Batman in the sense where in the comics, the Batman has his mind set to something, he's gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to steer him otherwise.
Right.
Similarly, Ben Affleck's Batman, as soon as he like thought Superman was like a threat, you cannot steer him otherwise. Like the dude basically invented kryptonite. Like come on,
No,
like
Batman is stubborn.
not invented, but you know what I mean. Like he weaponized kryptonite. That's what I'm saying. And then as soon as he was like Martha, like he after post pre Martha, post Martha. So after Martha happened, then like he was just like a one man army, but not against
Right.
Superman this time, but against like Luthor and yeah. But getting back to Robert Pattinson, yeah, so I guess the only casting really left is the true antagonist of the film, which is really debated by a lot of people because I don't think anyone thinks the Riddler or the Penguin's like the main like antagonist. Like they're just kind of like secondary villains, unless the Riddler is the main villain. But I haven't seen an official report say that.
Because
There's just been rumors there's multiple villains.
we don't know how. Yeah, we know there's multiple villains, but we don't know exactly how many villains are in this movie or what the story is for that matter. For all we know, it could be like an Arkham story. We know it's going to be a detective story, but we don't know the extent of how much of his rogues gallery are going to be within this film. I think it'd be interesting if we got some people like we haven't seen before, like Clayface, or if we got to see like Man Bat or something, ventriloquist. Yeah, utilize some people that we that the mainstream aren't familiar with, but also playing into the things that we know. And I'm glad that we're finally getting the chance to redeem the Riddler since the 1995 film because that was a
Yeah.
little much.
Well, I know the budget's already set and stuff like that, but I was thinking, I was like, how they made the Joker very low budget and stuff like that. They could probably Warner Brothers can make a very low budget Batman movie. I just thought about this. Like they could probably do a really low budget Batman film, very character driven Batman movie, still with some action scenes here and there, a few gadgets, but nothing super crazy.
Could
Probably
they,
make bank. They could
or
probably
would
make
they?
that'd probably be the first movie I could see. They probably wouldn't because they'd want to splurge on like a Batmobile and then this and that. But I just thought about it. Batman's a big enough character. If you keep the budget low, which you can because he has no powers or anything, you make it all practical. You could probably he would be the first superhero character to make like $1 billion profit,
Mm.
like make over 1 billion in the box office, but the budget's so low that you get basically 1 billion profit,
Yeah,
all things considered. I mean,
because he is just a man. If they're
especially
pick
with inflation.
right, and if they are picking just his like primarily his primarily antagonists that are human based, then yeah, you could totally do one. But if you're doing something like more abstract or more like CGI heavy, then the budget would be higher. And yeah, it's totally possible.
Yeah, you could probably
Riddler doesn't
do.
require a lot of special effects. Neither does Catwoman.
Yeah, you could do like 50 $50 million budget Batman film. Like I'm being serious. Like you could probably do it, and I almost want to see that just to see what would happen with it because you would have to make it character driven, and Batman is such a complicated character that you could do it. Hmm. We keep getting off course here. Robert Pattinson Batman. So yeah, I guess with casting, I guess kind of I guess as we wrap up this segment, what character would you like to see next be cast?
Hmm.
Like if you could choose, like any one Batman related character. Can't be anyone that's already been like teased. So no Firefly, no, you know, characters like that.
Interesting, interesting. I would want to see. I don't know, man. He has a lot of villains. He just got a lot of villains. What about Calendar Man? No, not Calendar Man.
No, this would have to be like your primary antagonist because
Oh, your
everything's been so
primary.
secretive. Yeah, so you're basically saying right now, if I was Matt Reeves, I would pick this
Ooh.
villain. Extra credit if you already know who you'd cast.
What about Hush? Batman, like Hush in a film.
Who would you
Be
cast? Well, I
interesting.
guess you would have to cast Robert Pattinson, wouldn't you? Basically, because
Plot twist.
Hush gets the yeah, because Hush gets the surgery to look basically just like Bruce Wayne. So
Yeah, just
double
just
dip.
double Pattinson, Gemini
Yeah,
Man. You get a young Pattinson.
that'd be dope. I would
No,
do
that would be
Talon,
dope. Talon, okay,
but like a different take on Talon. Like I would do him like a pseudo Batman, basically.
okay. Who would you cast?
So the person I would probably cast is I'm always a fan of doing stuff like this, like Nicholas Holtz. Like people
Okay.
that were like front runners for the role but didn't eventually get it, but then being cast as like the antagonist, kind of like how Tom Hiddleston was auditioning for Thor, didn't get it, but became Loki. Like
Mm,
I love situations like that. Um, yeah, so I guess I would say that just because it opens the door for potentially like a trilogy centered around like the Court of Owls, which I think could be pretty cool.
that would be dope because that's
Yeah,
something we
like,
haven't really seen on screen before. And
exactly. Like,
they
I don't think you could do the Court of Owls as like a one movie thing because it's so
so big and it goes
deep,
deep
you
within
know?
Gotham. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I would love to see that explored throughout a trilogy, which I think Matt Reeves could pull off, but
Oh, totally. It's not like it's not like trilogies are something foreign to him. It's not like he hasn't done
yeah. Well,
multiple films before.
he didn't do the first Planet of the Apes,
He
so
did, but he finished it off though. He
he
did.
finished it. He finished it stronger than anyone probably would have thought it would be finished.
100%,
So
100%.
thanks for watching. If you guys are still watching at this point and you haven't checked out all the different segments of this podcast episode, please check them out. If the podcast audio version isn't on our SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, etc., give it some time. That might take a little while, but yeah, hopefully I can get this up the same day we record it. It kind of depends, but leave your comments down below, and we'll see you guys later.
So yeah. Oh man.
Thanks for watching our video. If you guys liked what you saw, please like and subscribe, share with your friends, and consider filling out the survey in the description below. It's just some stuff for us to find out ways we can better make our content, whether it's the lighting, the camera, the audio, the video, whatever it may be. We want to make the best content possible for you guys here at HN. So just fill out the survey if you have a chance. Let us know. Put in the comments things we can improve upon. And we hope you guys liked the video. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know what you guys would like to see next time. And we'll see you guys later.